Hello, everyone. Now, 3 game weeks have passed, and we all know that we have pretty much everyone has started in an abysmal fashion because that's how unpredictable the EPL has been this year. And so, the two of us decided that we would do a lot of legwork for all of you. So, if you're among those people who are wondering whether to use a wildcard or not, in case you're deciding that you are going to use one, we present to you not one, not two, but four drafts that you can use to pick and choose your team from. That's right. We've got one team that's got both Haaland and Salah, one team that's got neither, and then one each, which are not working in either of those extremes. So go ahead, utilize all of your prejudices, all of your financial abilities, whatever instincts kick in, and pick your team, and you can thank us. Yes, because Shweta, how much were your eyes streaming after you worked on this?
Mm, Felt like there was salt water in my eyes, to be very precise. And my ass was sweating also.
I'm sure that could have been because of the sheer nervousness of just, I don't know,
Yeah,
not doing what you are used to doing because so many people are just not working.
yeah, exactly. It's pressuring because like you want to get it absolutely perfect, even though that's not possible. But yeah, pressure is on.
It absolutely is because I don't think any of us were really counting on having to use our wild card this early. But of course, it helps that we have two wild cards this season. So, you can sort of commit to using one so early on. But also, on that note, are you using yours right now, or is this just a practice run and you'll be keeping yours for later?
I haven't activated the chip yet,
Okay.
so I was just practicing on the web. But very, very high chance I'll activate it because my team is just too messed up. I need to make too many changes, and it's not just like a -4 that I can take. So most definitely I'll be activating it soon.
Yeah.
Let's discuss it and then see the feedback. If it's shit, then I'll not use that one. So you guys decide if
Oh
it's
yeah,
good or bad.
absolutely. Although, for the record, I am using mine because yes, my
Hmm.
team is absolute shit. Too many defenders who aren't
Mm.
working. I mean, I've just had 3 or 4 people sort of making the returns for me, so I've already activated it. And for anyone who's wondering whether to activate it or not, if you do activate it, then remember, guys, it's unlimited number of transfers. So basically, you can keep shuffling your team and keep moving players around till the deadline. So it's not like
Mhm.
you only have 11 transfers, you have unlimited transfers. Okay. So you will have plenty of time if you activate it early enough to keep mixing and matching your team. On that note,
Yep.
Shweta, why don't you go ahead? Give us your first draft.
Okay, the first draft is the most difficult thing to do in this planet, having Salah and Haaland. Okay, here we go. So, my goalkeeper is Henderson, only because I feel personally he has been consistent and I've not really changed him or swapped him with anybody, even in the previous season. So, this is my guy. I'm quite biased with him. And I know that some of you suggested Sanchez. So I was
Mm-hmm.
reading through my story replies. So you can also go with Sanchez if you want, but this is just my preference. In my defensive lineup, Van der Ven, J Timber, and Calafiore. Yes, you heard that right.
Two Arsenal players together.
Yes, yes. I think that this would work out well because one Van der Ven, a lot of you have benched him previously, and that was a total bust. And
Mm.
his fixtures look pretty good. I think his expected points are also kind of there for his price. I think it's pretty worth it. So that's that. And then for Timber, Calafiori, so I'm taking these two guys.
No, but just one question about that. Are you worried at all? See, the thing is, your defensive lineup works very well if Arsenal get a clean sheet, which is what they aspire to most of the time, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
in case that doesn't work out for you, then you're also looking at a potential, well, bust case again, right? So are you at all worried
Yeah,
about that
that's
for
true.
Do you have any alternative player in mind in case, you want to tweak something around?
Yeah, I think my alternative would probably be to add some kind of a differential there. I would probably put Munoz in there
Oh,
just
okay.
to balance it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But then again, for money wise, it's a bit tough to do that. So I think that's why having Salah and Haaland is the most difficult draft to do because you sacrifice so much on every other player.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
so
Then
yeah.
what's your midfield looking like?
My midfield, Salah, Kudus, Rogers, Reinders, Mitoma. Again, like I said, because you're having people like Salah and Haaland, right? And there's another premium that's in the forwards as well that I'll talk about later. But because of that, I have to take someone like Mitoma and Reinders because I can't really think of another player with that price that could give me proper returns. So ideally, this would not be my draft, but I'm just, making it because a lot of you have asked to include Salah and Haaland. Rogers is a good pick. Salah, obviously, I'll always have him in my draft. For Kudus, his fixtures look pretty promising also until I think game week 11. I
Mm-hmm.
think it should be fine up till game week 11.
Yeah.
Same with Rogers. His fixtures up till game week 8 are looking pretty all right as well. And he did kind of give us a jump scare. But yeah, with Reinders and Mitoma, of course, I don't want the two of them, but that is all I could afford with this
How much is
limited
Reinders
budget.
for?
He is 5.7 mil. He is 32% owned at the moment.
What if you go for an Ndai or Dewsbury Hall? I think the problem with Reinders is that although, he did have that spark in that first game, that spark has clearly been
Mm,
dimmed a lot
died off.
because
Yeah.
of Pep and just the system that City employs, right? Some of these Everton cheaper options, because even I was going through them and I kept looking at them because they both have given returns.
I did have another draft where I had two Everton players, but then again, that's also still risky for the starting 11, I
I
feel.
agree, yes,
So,
I do.
yeah, so that's why I was kind of stuck with Reinders and Mitoma. But hopefully, my forwards, Haaland and João Pedro, will come through. So, see, there are like three premiums here. So, I think that's why the midfield is slightly less. But
Mm-hmm.
Haaland and João Pedro, no need to go in further.
Yeah.
For Haaland, I think his fixture wise is on and off, I'd say, not too promising, but he could deliver. And with someone you want to keep long term, then yeah, sure. But yeah, personally, I would maybe sacrifice him to spread my money around a little bit.
All
So,
right.
and on the bench, I have Esteve, Gay, and Scarlett. So perhaps emergency you can swap with them. But those are the starting 11 for the Salah and Haaland draft.
Very well done. Because I agree that that's a very difficult one to pull off. So then now,
Over
should I go
to, yes,
do the
let's go.
draft where we are like, what if you pick neither? Because honest to God, Salah's we've discussed this a little before, how Liverpool it's changing its strategy and Salah's playing more of the playmaker role because there's a lot more firepower, or there are younger legs that are getting added, so which is understandable. So Salah's
Mm,
not being his traditional, or rather, let's just say last year FPL self, at least so far. Having said that, you can never write him off, but in case you are in that skeptical mode and you're also in the mode where you're like, you know what, I don't want to spend so much money on both of them because then
mhm,
suddenly your options open up to the
mm.
point where you have so many players that I think that it becomes a little difficult to pick your playing 11. But I'll
I
start
was
with
going to say, yeah, who do you start? Who do you bench?
yes,
So the headache actually is a very unique headache now.
yes.
So,
But you know what? A very good side to this is that if you were to use your bench boost, then it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a very good option because you've got good playing options across your squad. And if you were to
Mm-hmm.
use your bench boost, then you're gold. In the goal, I have Pickford. The other
Mm-hmm.
option is Vicario. Now, Vicario,
Okay.
especially, was very interesting because, well, Spurs so far have not, well, they've just conceded a goal in one game. And I was also trying to create enough difference between my goalkeeper and my defensive line. And I did try to
Mm-hmm.
keep someone else, but at the same time, I was like, I don't have to economize if I don't have Salah or Haaland. Like, you can actually splurge.
Yeah.
So my goalkeepers themselves are costing 10.5 million. In my defense,
Wow.
I've got Cucurella, Pedro Porro, Munoz, Virgil van Dijk, and Julian Timber.
Oh,
See, it really makes you think. I'm telling you, it
oh
makes you think.
God. Yeah.
The fact that City is not playing well is almost playing into our best laid dreams, not plans. Because
Yeah.
if you can dump Haaland and
Correct.
Liverpool continue to play the way they are, you could actually have this. Midfield, you've got Gakpo, Enzo, because Enzo, well, he's part of the set pieces. He's been doing really well of late, so that is
Yeah.
there. Then you've got Grealish because
Mm-hmm.
setting a lot of stock by him for understandable reasons. Then I've also got Mbuemo. Mbuemo over Bruno because I just feel like it's more a personal bias because I love how involved he is in the United attack, and I just feel like he's got a lot of potential over there. Having said that, if you're still leaning towards Bruno, it'll be understandable. He's giving you DEFCON points. He's also, of course, taking the penalties. So there's always a plus there. And I think you might just be able to afford Bruno if you were to tweak things a little here and there, because Bruno is more expensive than Mbomo. And then
Yeah.
the fifth player is Semenyo. And
Yeah.
then among the strikers, you've got João Pedro, Ekitike, and you're going to love this, Mateta.
For
I
context, I sold him, guys. So
sold
that's
him
why.
in the third game week.
Yeah.
So
Okay. That is a solid team, man.
I'll just quickly give a few cheaper options in case, people want to make a few tweaks here and there. So starting with the defenders, for instance, if Kukurea is too expensive based on whom you're picking, then you've got Chaloba as an option.
Mm.
Instead of Pedro Porro, you can have Van de Ven.
Mm.
Instead of Munoz, you can choose to have Richards. And instead of Van Dijk, you can also choose to go with Tarkowski because he's again another DEFCON monster. I was looking through his numbers. Then in the
Yep.
midfield, if you are not really looking at Gakpo, um, and guys, Liverpool are playing Burnley. So honestly, ideally
Mm-hmm.
double up on Liverpool attackers. And then
Yep.
if you want to go rogue against this entire idea, then take up Salah. We'll come to that though. In case of Enzo, you also have exactly what I was suggesting to Shweta earlier. You can have Ndiaye or Dewsbury Hall because they're from Everton, cheaper options, and they've been giving good returns. Mbuomo, I already spoke about Bruno. And then instead of Semenyo, I agree with you here. You have Rogers from Aston Villa, even though Aston Villa haven't really started performing yet. Rogers
Yeah.
was great last year. Plus, they've
Yeah.
gotten Harvey Elliott, and I
Mm.
have a lot of faith in him because we've seen him play very well for Liverpool. So even though he's just entered the squad, the fact is he's from EPL, he's from a team like Liverpool. Even if he doesn't start immediately, he's bound to play in the first match that we'll see post international break, and I think it's only a matter of time before he starts,
Mm.
and I think he can make potentially a massive difference. So if you want to set stock by that, then Rogers would be a good option.
Yep.
And for the strikers, I have oh, see guys, for Wissa and for Isak, actually, since neither of us have mentioned them, they've both gone into new teams. Wissa, you can of course wait and watch. He had a good season last year. As far as Isak is concerned, we've touched on this a little earlier. No preseason. He's been practicing alone. Plus, as soon as he went to Liverpool, there's the international break, right? So,
Mm.
again, I don't think he will start. He will, of course, get
Yeah.
some game time, but then as soon as we start off with the EPL again, Champions League also starts. So, I think Isak, if you want to keep him, you'll have to keep him with the caveat of how much game time he gets and how much he's really able to give in return as early.
Mhm.
He's definitely someone you want to keep your eye on and get in eventually. But if you want to get him in this
Yeah.
early, then you'll actually end up benching someone who costs a lot of money. So that's something to look at. So yeah,
Yep.
I do have one cheap option to suggest over here, which is Igor Thiago. He's gotten good
Mm.
points. So, if in case you're stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea, might just help.
Mm.
So
Right.
yeah.
Solid, man. Yeah,
I'm
that's
telling
the
you.
reason why I don't have Isak in my draft also because a few of you guys were asking us to include Isak, and even for myself, I wasn't really sure if, he's going to start or he's going to, get minutes and stuff. So we've not really created a draft for that. I think we have plenty of time for that anyway. So
Yeah.
let's observe and see. So
I
yeah.
also think finalize your team closer to the end of the international break because
Yeah.
lots of potential injuries that can still happen.
Yes, exactly.
So,
That's why I always do mine last minute. Yeah. All
so what's
right.
your more realistic pick then?
So my more realistic one is the one where I don't have Haaland. In my defensive lineup, I have Henderson. It's the same guy. I don't really know why a lot of people only talk about him, but he's been pretty consistent. And just because, there are times where certain players blank and stuff, that doesn't mean that you immediately sell them and,
Yeah.
replace them. So he has been someone I kept very long term. So that's my goalkeeper. For the defensive lineup, Munoz, J Timber, and Calafiori. I'm
Hmm.
still quite sure that this differential, Munoz, would, set a bit of a different tone here.
Hmm.
And for my midfield, I think it looks a little stronger because obviously it's sold Haaland. So there's
Yeah.
Salah, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Rogers, and Kudos. Maybe I should use this one, this draft.
You seriously can. I mean, at least the midfield I'm very impressed by because you've
Hmm.
got everyone from a different team, so there's enough
Yeah,
spread,
exactly.
right? So
Correct. So I'm pretty happy with the midfield. Maybe the defensive lineup, maybe I might change something. I'm not sure. Maybe take out one Arsenal guy and bring in someone else. Maybe Murillo if I have enough money. But yeah, so that's the midfield. And then for the forward, João Pedro, again, I am not going with anyone else. I
hmm.
must have him in my team. And then I have Ekitike. So I think that I knew you would be excited for that. So I feel like this is pretty solid for now. So I wouldn't be too worried about the bench just yet
Yeah.
because on my bench I have Gaye and Esteve. So I think this starting 11 is still pretty strong. Even if one blanks or whatever, I think it will compensate because like you said, it's from multiple teams, right? So this draft I'm a bit more happy with because I don't know, to hope on Haaland so much and to sacrifice in the midfield, I wasn't really happy with that.
I agree with you absolutely. One suggestion, instead of how much is Esteve for? Because I had him in my team, and check how much Rodon is for. He's been excellent, barring that one game against Arsenal. Leeds has kept clean sheets. Leeds is doing very well at home. If in
Mm.
case you're looking for a change, could be a potential good one to just keep on the bench, even if you're not really playing him.
He is, oh yeah, he's 4 million
He's
also.
4 million. He's still 4 million.
Hmm. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So then, which brings me to my less wishful team, more practical. All right. So in my goal, I had Cells earlier, whom I sold off.
Mm-hmm.
Never buying him again. Nottingham Forest, by the way, just like they've not kept their form either from last season or from the preseason, and it's just been a big hoax. So removed. I've got Vicario and I've got Dubravka. By the way, I love the fact that you have Henderson because again, Crystal Palace is really solid. That's
Mm-hmm.
also a good option. I like that as an option. In the defensive lineup, I've again gone for at least one Chelsea defender. So instead of Kukurea, I've got Chaloba. Then I've got Van de Ven, and I've got Richards, and I've got Virgil, and I've got Timber. So I've essentially gone ahead and done those swaps that I mentioned earlier. I've tried to keep with the same teams, but I've gone for a slightly cheaper option because this is a squad that has Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
So the midfield,
Damn.
it still has no Salah.
Mm.
Despite the fact
That's
that
fair
Liverpool
though.
play Burnley, I do not have Salah.
Yeah.
I'm very scared of this. But I think in the long run, I just genuinely believe that unless like Salah, it's Salah, he could completely prove me wrong. But so far, yeah, he's being the more mature player who's feeding balls and who's
Mm-hmm.
getting the
Mm-hmm.
ball rolling quite literally. So in my midfield, I've got Gakpo. I've got Josh King, who will mostly be on the bench. I've got Grealish. I really
Mm-hmm.
wanted to bring him on in the third week itself. But honestly, at that time, we'd only seen him perform in like really spectacularly in one game. Then in that third week, also, he had a really good game. So I'm just like, you know what, let's just go ahead with him. So I've got Grealish, I've got Mbumo over here, and then I've got Semenyo. Okay.
Impressive.
Yay! Thank you, girl. And then in my attacking lineup, I've got João Pedro, Ekitike, and Haaland.
Damn.
So
Damn.
I love that response.
Damn. I think it's pretty obvious, guys. I think you go with either Salah or Haaland. The option of putting the two of them is a no-go based on what I'm hearing now. Either Salah or Haaland. Your
I
pick.
I agree with you also because neither of them is performing as well as they have in the past. So
Yes,
it just doesn't make sense because also
correct.
they're not even your go-to captains anymore. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing. Correct. Like I'll captain João Pedro most probably, or maybe Bruno Fernandes because I don't have Haaland.
of course, the transfer window is just finished, so neither of us, for instance, has still got Isak in their more sensible drafts
Mm,
also. But I think it's only a matter of time till we bring him in. And I think as and when
yeah.
that time comes up, given that he's in the vicinity of 10 million, you will need at least two transfers to make that sort of switch happen.
Yes.
So I
Yes,
think
that's
that's
right.
something that you want to plan ahead for. So my wildcard, just a reminder, is active. I am definitely going ahead with it. And this
For
beautiful
me,
woman is still considering.
aw, I don't know why I'm considering. A few people ask me like, why are you still considering? Like, what's the trauma behind that? And I always tell them like, game week 3, guys, because using the chip too early is technically not a good idea, not really ideal. And but I feel that our teams, it's so all over the place that it needs a reset. So
Yeah,
it's not like it's just one or two, and it's not like my bench is strong. So I need to actually, I can't keep sacrificing like, oh, it's okay, it'll pick up in game week 7 and 8. And then meanwhile, I'm just like,
on that note, chin up
yeah,
and all the best for game week 4.
all the best, guys.